Oh, you think you're ready, but you're not. Okay. There we go. But yeah, that's why this is a, a stream. Okay. Static. Off screens. There we go. here. Da, 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 da. Too bad. Majority of videos that come out are just shortcoming. Alright. I'm at that point where I can make whatever I want, I guess. Suppose that's my problem. I never saw The Hitcher. That looks like a good movie.
Yeah, nuggets.
Yeah,
so the first goal is which presidential candidate has the worst merch?
What are your feelings on this?
You know, it's going to be pretty hard for me to say that anything is worse than Trump because his merch literally lets me know that I don't want to be around you.
Do you think it's an arrangement, like Biden arrangement, that I cringe the hardest at Biden memes? And
I think Biden's is maybe cringier, but I think Trump was the worst.
That's the question.
I mean,
which is cringier? Who has that?
Dude, me and TJ have been into a Donald Trump basically merchandise.
that was a pretty good
MAGA store.
There's like a MAGA store in Gatlinburg.
Oh my god,
Well, Steve was like,
so much fun.
it was for Father's Day, and Steve's
It would
like,
have been fun if we could have made fun of it, but his Father's Day request was we go to the Trump store and each buy him something from the Trump store, but we are not allowed to make fun of anything in there or say anything snarky or even roll it up.
Oh, he coned you guys.
dude, and we couldn't complain because Steve literally bought us all like a super expensive dinner. And we're like, I'm okay, I'll do it. I'll do it, man. I'll go in the store. Like I bought us some Trump hat or something.
All right, so let's take a look at some Biden merch. He's really leaning into this dark Brandon shit, like
This makes me cringe harder than the fucking world.
later. So I don't know if Biden, dude, the dark Brandon shit was kind of cute for a minute, like a year ago, and that was before the.
All right. Let's see. I got this video done. I want to make a thumbnail. Oh, what's going on in the world of crazy today that I can put on? Oh, by the way, my main channel is Crafty Arts. There you go. Subscribe to that. I'm angry and I miss streaming. Oh yeah, I was in the middle of listening to a video. Streaming will die if we don't make this change.
Has a tendency to value.
There we go, something to listen to while I make this thumbnail.
My lovely imps, I want to talk about something a little bit weird. And maybe this is better framed as a general criticism of the streaming world. And when I say the streaming world, I don't mean like Netflix and all that kind of stuff. I mean like the type of streaming I'm doing. Or if you're watching this as a video, the type of stream that I was doing. Go check out my live streams over on the live tab. But for real, the streaming world has a bit of a problem. And this might come off as a little bit cruel, but I think that the streaming world right now is artistically bankrupt. I'm not saying that there's nobody doing anything artistic, but the world as a whole is impoverished on an artistic level. And some of this is even criticism that I would point at myself. I try to make my show very unique. I try to make my show artistically unique. You know, whether it's my frame, whether it's my set, whether it's the fact that I constantly am changing things up in my set and changing things about my design. You know, I put a lot of thought into the outfits that I wear on stream. You know, I got all my little horns and my things that I dress up with to add a lot of artistic flair to what you see when you come and watch my show. And of course, there's the harder to quantify type stuff, like how I choose to present things, the type of jokes that I tell, stuff like that. I try to put a lot of effort into that, but even I have fallen victim in a certain way to a lack of artistic ambition that I think pervades the entire streaming space. And it's unfortunate. I think it's really, really bad and depressing, actually, that in the current world of streaming, content is the ultimate central thing. It is more important than anything else. It's just, you just need to put anything out, and it doesn't matter what it is, just churn, churn, churn. Content, content, content. Content in every direction. You got to be streaming a ton. You got to be streaming all the time. You got to be putting it out. You got to be whatever. Anything that you can do to get the content out. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why I think that's the case. I don't want to spend too much time going into the reasons why, you know, the content is the central focus, but it is the focus. And it has downstream effects, which is that as a industry, the streaming industry has a tendency to value extremely shallow subjects, extremely shallow content, because content is all that matters. Just filling up space and time, having something on the screen as much as possible, because that's the thing. There is a tendency towards streaming to basically always fall into the lowest common denominator presentations that you can come up with. Everything from just endless drama baiting to the most questionably ethical React content you could possibly imagine. You know, there's the
like this
sort
one
of
right now I'm
famous
doing right now.
conflict with React streamers who will literally leave their empty chair, you know? Like if I was to get up right now and just be like, all right, guys, here's you know, Star Wars, the original trilogy. See you guys in a minute.
And come back 3 hours later. Get some watch time.
And then, you know, Star Wars started playing. And then I just was like, yeah, I've been really grinding, hustling and grinding this month, you know? I've been like, you know, I've been really on my grind. And my grind means like leaving my empty chair with people watching like something that somebody else made. I don't think that, by the way, I should be clear, I don't think that React in and of itself is a bad thing. There's lots of really great React content out there where people add a lot. I do React content, and I have a policy of always making sure that when I'm doing React content, that I'm adding a lot of my own touch, because that's just how I like to do things. But this like, content is supreme, like the amorphous content pursuit, is, I think,
That's
really
better.
bad for the streaming world. And I think that it results in
Maybe.
people who enjoy streaming being given a worse experience. People who, people being incentivized to make something worse than what they could make. I'm not saying that every single stream in the world needs to knock it out the park and be in like an A+, you know, avant-garde art production. But there's a remarkable shallowness, even to the variety in presentation among streamers. If you go and flick through streamers on popular streaming platforms, you get a lot of streams that look functionally identical. It's actually sometimes impossible to tell the difference between one stream and another if you don't know the streamer. You're like, from spending time there, you might not even know what the difference between two streams is. And yet they're two different people making their own supposedly unique product. And I think that that is really unfortunate. Another thing that I think that is a downstream effect of, a downstream effect of worshiping content as the ultimate just getting out whatever you can as the ultimate form of streaming is that streaming has no culture of mutual uplifting. I've worked in a lot of different artistic industries. I went to film school. I've worked in the film industry. I worked as a writer for a really long time. And I've also worked a lot of different, like, sort of traditional employment jobs, okay? And I swear to God, even in the world of sales, okay? Even when I was working in sales, okay? The most, like, what you imagine would be the most, like, soulless enterprise you can possibly imagine.
My sales
there
is
was
actually helping
a
people
culture of people being able to uplift one another and be inspired by one another. Even in the cutthroat world of sales, let me give you an example of this. If you were to go to your favorite streamer, in fact, I'll just let you think about it. Think of your favorite streamer if it's not me. If it's me, you might already know the answer. Have you ever heard them talk about another streamer that inspires them? I just did it. So I kind of got a gotcha. Obviously, if you're watching this as a video on YouTube, like and subscribe, but you know. Yeah. You've heard them. I was gonna say, I watch a lot of different streamers and I basically never hear that. I hear streamers talk about, you know, sometimes movies that inspire them, sometimes other types of artists that inspire them, but I rarely ever hear streamers talk about other streamers that inspire them. People whose work they're like, wow, this is interesting. In the world of film, filmmakers almost will devote themselves to schools of filmmaking that they wish to learn how to master. They'll have favorites that they go, this is the type of stuff that I want to do or that I want to incorporate and adapt for myself. And you just don't really see that in streaming. And I think part of that is just because streaming hasn't developed very well as an artistic medium yet. And I would like to see that change. Maybe it's not possible. Maybe the way that the industry is set up, the fact that, you know, these things that contribute to the content brain, the fact that, like, pay is not very good, that there's extremely high expectations placed on streamers as far as, you know, how much time they're supposed to be spending working on content versus doing other things like, you know, getting inspiration and whatever. Maybe that's just too out of whack, and wherever we're at right now, it's just not possible. But I would like to see people really pushing the envelope and starting to develop artistic identities within streaming that make people excited, that make people strive, that make people ambitious. You know, I would love to see that type of thing.
I have an idea.
There is a, you know, stereotype about streaming that it's like the biggest popularity contest. That, you know, streaming is basically just about perfecting the lowest common denominator to get the maximum number of views possible. And unfortunately, I think there's a certain amount of truth to that a lot of times. That there is a huge pressure for streamers to basically hollow out their unique identity in the name of maximizing views, because that is the way that you make a living. Not even just how you get rich. That is just how you have to make a living a lot of times. I hope we can change that. I would like to see streamers start to figure out how to make their broadcast unique, how to start building an artistic DNA for the streaming world. Obviously, streaming is a fairly new industry. I recognize we're still in the baby steps phase of a new artistic medium being born. And we obviously have spiritual predecessors, radio, you know, other types of live performance, live TV, for example. Although the world of live TV has its own, you know, limitations. You know, a lot of live TV was like news stuff, but radio was a place where there was tons of essentially live performance, and people could call in real time and engage with the show in real time. That's the closest comparison I always have to streaming. And if you look at the world of radio, oh my God, there is so much unique identity within the world of radio. If you go and you look at the most famous
and yeah, straight up storytelling, ideas. All right, let's see. Group this together. Man. Is a white woman or why is society? Why society? Huh. Why society?
radio performers, you look at two different radio performers, you go, these guys run a totally different show. It's a completely different experience between one show to the other, just because there is so much variance in the ways that people chose to engage with radio in an artistic way. And I would love to see that for streaming. I want to see streamers engage with this more. I want to see streamers be inspired by other streamers, be interested in understanding streaming as an art form, not just as a content factory. And it's interesting to me that I rarely ever hear streamers talking about streaming as an artistic enterprise. It's almost always talked about like a business or like a content factory. You know, I need to set up this, this, and this so that everything chugs out and gets posted at the right time. There's very little engagement with like talking about streaming as an art. How do we play with interactability? You know, just before this, if you're watching live, you obviously just heard this. If you didn't, go check it out on my actual live stream. I was talking about Germa's Dollhouse, which is one of the most inspiring pieces of stream art, and I really do think it's stream art. It's incredibly funny. It's unbelievably creative. It's doing a ton of different things that nobody had ever done before, or at least certainly not on that scale and all at once. And it makes for an incredibly inspiring show. It makes you go, wow, what other cool things could we do, taking this format and going further, or taking or building off ideas that were used here. I love seeing stuff like that. I really love seeing things like Germa's Dollhouse, where it's like a performance art stream experience, and it is a piece of art, and I love that. I want to see more of it, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm happy to hear that a couple of people in my audience do have favorite streamers who talk about who they're inspired by. I personally, I watch a lot of streams and I don't hear it almost ever. What I tend to hear is people talking about streaming like a factory, like they're setting.
Whoa, that is all thrown off. Yeah, the R and E needs a little more separation. No, that font is different. That's fine. DJ getting all the good faces today. All right. What? What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh. All these types of guys here. They all think they're the Joker. Let's see. Well, let's see. God, he almost looks like Elliot Rodger. That is uncanny. Let's see. There we go. That's perfect. I don't know if I have enough time for another clip though. Right downstairs. Yeah, we gotta space this out a little bit. There we go. And let's adjust this guy's face because he looks like a psychopath. There we go. JPEG. what else is out there? What's happening?
Huh. I wonder what's happening on the internet today.
I hate Reddit.
It's Donald Trump's latest money-making scheme, gold sneakers.
That's the real deal.
The former president launched
Hideous.
the Never Surrender high tops at SneakerCon in Philadelphia, and he got a mixed reception.
There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you.
This dude paid $9,000 for an autographed pair.
The case is a complete and total sham.
Trump spent the weekend slamming the New York judge who fined him $355 million.
Crooked judge, crooked judge. He's a crooked judge.
Meanwhile, he's under fire for not outright condemning the suspicious death of Russia's opposition leader, Alexei Navalny.
Either he sides with Putin and thinks it's cool that Putin killed one of his political opponents, or he just doesn't think it's that big of a deal.
Russian police have been cracking down on makeshift memorials to the fallen hero, who died suddenly under suspicious circumstances in a Siberian prison. His wife today vowing to continue his work, speaking out against Vladimir Putin.
Okay. No. Alright. Oh, that's gonna have to be dodged then. Too bad. What's this one? $216. Okay. Watch.
I am willing to be used as kind of smelling salts for the culture.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah.
When people say, well, I don't read much of what's on Twitter.
Hello, Franks.
Or social
How's it
media.
going?
Yeah, that's good.
And I really don't care at all. Those things. I'm rubber, you're glue, bounces off of me, sticks to you. But I see people, oh, you're taking us back to the 1800s, 1850s.
Fucking dorks.
Like, I'm not doing this right. I am not doing this right. I wanted to take us back to our founding. I wanted to take us back earlier. Like Why can't I go back to a Lex Rex age or a Vindicia Contra Tyrannus age or Bastiat's the law? I mean, why can't we go back? And I've got to do something better if we're only going to the 1800s, 1850s.
Well, let's see. Let's go back to the 1600s. Let's see. Poverty was surprisingly low compared to contemporary England. Okay, that's good. Plantations were owned by wealthy landowners. Okay. And worked by slaves. Oh. Okay. I guess that's why he wants to go there. You know, time when a broken leg could probably be your death, or forever being crippled. Good idea. Actually, make this a little darker. Darker still. Too dark. There. People know they know. Wait, what's this? I'm sold. Wow, the aesthetic is spot on. I'm doing it. Nope. He does now.
It's than Vosh's shit for sure.
Gross. Well, at least I didn't have to see it. At least we live in times where the sensible people at YouTube would not allow.
Alright. I think I spot the one we need to work on next. Alright, let's see. Quiz. Elon Musk. West Virginia cop says Israel did January 6th. Infomercials. Oh yeah, that one's gonna go next too. Because that show comes out like in just a few weeks from now. Let's do the X-Men Done Woke.
There's what. Steam.
Here we go.
It's scrambled your brain, TJ.
We made this, right? We got here.
We were sitting at, let's see, 798. So what's
Then
our
we
next
did.
goal? 900.
Our final goal is 900.
All right, guys, $100. Get us there. Do it now. This might be the last episode you ever see due to TJ and Paul's horrible, horrible behavior. They should both be ashamed of themselves.
No.
Oh, I think you. Well, I think we both know you need to suffer.
I love how these chuds always have these elaborate intros to their terrible fucking videos.
Marvel finally released a trailer and a release date.
Marvel finally released a trailer. Oh yeah, dude, brimming with masculinity.
I want to show some of the trailer so we actually get more of a context than this asshole's going to give us.
I am Woke Nito, master of magnet. Prepare for die.
Okay.
For their upcoming X.
Oh, wait, I have a transcript. So watch more of this. Oh, it's the gerbil. You should be able to equip items without going through that menu. Come on, transcription. Load up. There we go. Nice. Just in the confines of that house. What do you do? Alright. Basically just taking out all the fuckings, and that's it. Alright, what's next? What else is going on?
Chase them in their flying car. Chitty chitty bang bang. All right, we all on the same page of insanity? Good, because we're just getting to the good part. Because the family arrives in the strange land of Bulgaria. Because, you know, it's a vulgar place. They even called their Zeppelin service Volg Air, which is awesome. They're met with cannon fire when they reach their castle, and they run away and they send the guard after them. And then the Baroness decides to yell out this bone-chilling cry of doom.
And call out the child catcher!
This guy just Tokyo drifts his way out in a prison wagon. I gotta say, there's not many more sights more intimidating than that. After he just announced you as the child catcher. I mean, my God. Anyway, the family escapes to a nearby town, lands there, and this is where the movie starts to get pretty eerie. They pass a donkey man and they're like, hey, what's up? And he's like, freaking weirdos. As soon as the family shows themselves, the town goes dead silent and everyone just stares at them still. No one moves, no one speaks, they just stare them down and refuse to answer any of their questions. They slowly start to realize that they're staring at the kids and that there's not any children among them in the town. The only thing that breaks the tension is the soldier's horn blaring in the distance. And when it blares, everybody starts to freak out. These poor birds get thrown on the ground and they start to board up their windows. Everybody locks themselves away and it leaves the family stranded and alone on the street. Until some guy pokes his head out his door and is like, what are you doing? Get inside, you stupid dumb idiots. No, shut up, get inside. I don't give a crap, get in. Jemima has no care in the world, and none of this is weird to her, and she's already riding a rocking horse, which the guy is having none of. He is reasonably annoyed and telling him to shut up, get in the basement, the soldiers are coming to steal your children. And then he reveals that it's against the law for anyone to have children in Bulgaria. So as soon as they hide, soldiers arrive in the town and begin raiding houses one by one, looking for the kids. Then arrives the man, the myth, and the wanted for the disappearance of hundreds of children, along with the first time we hear this upbeat musical motif. Which is such a juxtaposition to his nature that it somehow just makes it way more creepy. Then we hear his first lines. All right, few things I want to point out. One is the hook he grabs from the wagon. That is so hardcore, I don't even know what to say about it. The second is his child catching net. Note that he has incorporated putting in wooden hoop supports through the net just to make sure that it doesn't break when there's a child in it. My God, it's wild. You already know that he's done this plenty, and because he can smell children and pinpoint them with his incredible nose. One sniff and you're done for. You cannot hide from the child catcher. And because of that nose, they know exactly which house they're hiding in instantly. And he begins telling him to break the door down, and the toy maker's like, I'm coming, and they break a window before he can even open the door. And then we get this epic entrance. Seeing this again made it so easy for me to remember why I found this so terrifying. He tosses the place and we get some more info.
If there are children here, my friend, you will die.
So yeah, the stakes are laid out plain and they are intense. If the threat of just keeping a kid is death, then you can only imagine what they plan to do with the kids once they find them. So we continue on with the intro to Inglorious Bastards while Hans Landa finds a trapdoor almost instantaneously where he knows the children are probably hiding. And then he decides to drop this insane line.
The Baroness will have your teeth for a necklace and your eyeballs for earrings.
Which just... it's crazy. I don't even know how you process that.
Nobody done his hair.
Fool! Idiot! Out of my way!
This guy searched for like 3 seconds total and was like, yeah, that's it. This guy probably doesn't even want to be a child catcher, so props to him. But if he was actually trying, then he definitely deserved his full idiot line.
You have to know where to look. Like cockroaches. They get under the floors, in the cracks in the walls.
Yep. Big Hans Landa energy going on here. They get out of this situation by pretending to be toys, which somehow works, and then they get disrupted by the soldiers yelling that they found Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, so they call off the search for now, and then they leave. The toy maker and Dick Van Dyke leave to go rescue Grandpa in the car, leaving this lady I haven't talked about much, whose name is literally Truly Scrumptious, and the kids in the basement. And then, for some reason, she makes the galaxy brain decision to leave the kids alone in the land hunting children because it's been 30 minutes and she's a little bit hungry, so she goes to find some food. They promise to stay hidden, but we all know that's not going to happen. Now, before we get back to the child catcher's second attempt, we cut to the Baron trying to figure out how to make the car fly, and when his wife wants to come along, he says,
Every time I want to have a little fun, she turns out.
there's definitely a few wrinkles on this movie.
If women are going to drive motor cars around, they should learn to operate one correctly. Women.
But while Grandpa's trying to make the car fly, he accidentally 007 ejects her from the car a few hundred feet into the air. Which, fun fact, the same studio that made the original Casino Royale just finished making that movie and started working on this one within a year of each other. So I think it kind of makes sense if you've seen anything from the original Casino Royale.
Oh, you like that sort of thing, eh?
If you'd never seen this movie, I would bet my life savings and hell, even my life, that you would never guess what this guy does next.
Don't worry, little piece, I get you down. I've been waiting for this for 20 years.
And he blasts a shotgun at her until she falls a few stories into a nearby lake. He runs over and he's like, "Are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I don't know how I'm alive after you shot a shotgun shell at me and I fell like 30 stories, but yeah, I'm okay."
Never mind, I'll get trouble next time.
I don't know if they dropped a dummy for this scene or if that was an actual stuntman falling from that height, but if it was a stuntman, then props to them because that's insane. All I do know is that safety was probably not the highest priority in this movie because earlier there was a dog that fell off of a railing during a musical number. It was a complete accident. And it's just there in the movie, which is wild. But you can see the wind of the helicopter blowing on the water, so it's entirely possible this is just a stuntman, which is crazy. But anyway, while that's all going on, we cut back to the child catcher's second and most infamous scene.
EA, this is Rebel HQ, all right?
This music theme makes me laugh, I think, every time I hear it, but it also just works so well. It almost feels like the music itself is its own
TYT, we're gonna look at
camouflage.
the sweat index and see how legit this shit is. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We're at 9:05.
And if anything, this scene was one of the best lessons in stranger danger for kids ever
Pressing the
because
button.
he slowly lures them, and
just
at
came
first the
up.
sister's like,
Came in.
"Jeremy, you
99.
mustn't." Yeah, no dip, Sherlock. This is the same guy that was hunting you earlier. Let's just forget his
Come in.
face.
Up,
But
4.99.
little idiot Jeremy's
No,
just
okay, man.
he just wants that ice cream.
All right. Oh damn. All right, well TJ and Paul are doing it.
1-0.
This shot right here is so ominous. It just sends shivers
damn.
down your spine.
All right, well, TJ
Look at
Paul
that.
is doing
It's so imposing. But nah, look at little Jeremy's dumb smile.
8, 7, 6.
And they're hook,
$5
line, and sinker
away.
with that.
All right, I'll give
Freaking treacle tarts, man.
Oh,
I must
shit,
be
you got me.
deprived in my life
Got me,
because
dude.
I've never had one. So they must be pretty
All right,
freaking
that's-
good to
that's
want to
about
run
as
out
much
into
as
that. And
as I can
Jemima
fucking
objects.
take, so
All right, let's see where we're at.
if someone wants to drop that little final bit, that is I can fucking take. So, fucking take as I can. Take so.
All right, let's see where we're at. All right, let's start.
So.
Let's see. Is there anything else?
It's a fun record. Over 50 different.
Hold on, before.
$4.99. All right, I'll give him
So
a
someone, yeah, someone just drop a 5.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
All right, let's see where we're at.
Take so.
Okay. Close that up. X-Men went. Whoa. Whoop, 216 for clips. I have a feeling I'm going to add some things here. All right. 9 o'clock though. How long is this?
Oh.
It's only gonna be 10 minutes. Once I double speed it.
Oh, it's horrible, horrible behavior. They should both be ashamed of themselves.
No, no.
Oh, it's horrible, horrible behavior.
Oh my god, can we stop? Can I hear it?
Do it, TJ. Paul, it's horrible, horrible behavior.
Nope.
$98. So what's our next goal? 900. Our final goal is 900. All right, guys. All right, guys. $100. Get us there. Do it now. It's gonna be the last episode you ever see.
There we go. All I want to know. Oh yeah, we gotta normalize the audio. Whoops. Normalize audio levels. Alright. I'm gonna eat food and then get out of here, so. Not too much else I'm gonna be showing off. Good night.